Being an NBA player has its ups and downs, and even the saying that you can't please everyone also applies to NBA players. So in today's video, we'll be looking at the most hated NBA players and the reasons why they got so much hate from fans and bashers alike. Make sure you stick around, you don't want to miss this one. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. First up is Grayson Allen. Grayson brought his dirty little tricks from Duke to Pro Ball as the Utah Jazz's upstart rookie. He was the most hated Dookie during his time, and for good reason. He has a long track record of tripping incidents, and of course, he brought his nasty habits to the NBA. Just last year, in the third quarter of the game between Portland and Utah, the former Blue Devil threw his forearms into Al-Farouq Amino, who was trying to shoot in transition. Allen was charged with a flagrant foul for what he did. Add that to the time he did the same thing to Draymond Green. Then there's Trae Young. For someone who was a celebrated basketball player in college, you'd actually be surprised with all the hate Trae Young is getting. Well, pretty much all the hate comes from the fact that people keep saying he's going to be the next Steph Curry. While this sounds like a good thing, it also became a burden for the newbie since Curry's bad habits are being compared to his. We'll talk more about Steph on this list, but there can only be one Steph Curry. Trae shouldn't have to go through all of this at the start of his career. We also have Lonzo Ball on this list. Why? Well, the main reason is because of his father, LeVar Ball's overbearing attitude. But Lonzo himself is pretty annoying too. Fans hate him because his name accounts for much of his success and not his talent. He became the number 2 draft pick in the league with a shooting percentage that does not fit in with the Lakers or even the league. He earns 10 times more than teammate Kyle Kuzma, who was also a rookie, while he contributed more for his team with the small time he got on the court. Lonzo also doesn't care much about his teammates, even if he should, as exhibited at the time that he was the only one who did not participate in the skirmish between the Lakers and Suns back in 2017. Next up, John Wall. Okay, I admit John Wall is undoubtedly one of the most talented players in the NBA, but sadly, talent isn't everything. People say he's not much of a leader. That's on top of the fact that he isn't the most careful about his health, since he had the gall to show up to Team USA's training camp in Las Vegas looking like he just came back from a week-long bender. Of course, there's also that long-time debate of whether or not he's actually better than Derrick Rose. Well, no matter how good John Wall is, I believe in no way he's better than Rose. Next, Draymond Green. This is no longer a secret among fans of the NBA, no matter how important he is for the success of the Golden State Warriors. Green is known to be a bully on the court and has already been tagged as a dirty player too. He's also known as a trash talker in the league, not just to opponents on court, but also to the media. The biggest things he ever did was trying to punch LeBron in the crotch, which people believed to be the reason why the Warriors lost the 2016 NBA Finals. Despite this, Green enjoys the spotlight, since it gives him some kind of leverage against his team's opponents. Next, we have Blake Griffin. Well, to be sure, not everyone hates Blake Griffin, but those who do hate him for a reason. Haters say that he's overrated because he does so much dunking and nothing else, which earned him a lot of endorsements over the years. And that is actually another reason why some people, and even players, don't like Blake. He's just seen too much. And of course, he's also dubbed as the #1 flopper in the NBA. Just check out his spectacular twirl after being grabbed by Festus Elizai in the arm. That, my friends, would earn a high score in gymnastics. Sadly, the NBA does not award points for that. James the Beard Harden is definitely on this list as well. The main reason for this is that he's not much of a sport. He's always busting a fuse at the ref, especially if the opponent doesn't get called on a foul. This leads me to another reason. Free throws are a great big part of his game. It's not bad since you can really try to score however you want. It's just like a jump shot, a layup, or a dunk to be honest, but it makes for such bad TV. Fans get bored of the free throws that we know he intentionally harvests. But while he continues to earn the hate from everyone, Harden proves to be one good player. Next is DeMarcus Cousins. Just like Harden, Cousins is on this list for losing his temper too frequently. Want an example? Well, remember the time he got himself ejected from the game following his retaliation when Luke Ridnour pushed him back in 2011? In his time with the Kings, DeMarcus was known to be a problem child. In short, Cousins is one immature player that even the Golden State Warriors could not control. Of course, who can forget Russell Westbrook? Russ is the classic case of the aggressive player type. He's really good at what he does, but unfortunately for him, basketball is a team sport. This means that he dominates the game too much without any consideration for his teammates. Yes, this means he is a ball hog. One more reason to hate Westbrook is the fact that he talks big, but often chokes, which meant bye-bye championships for his team. He has to learn to be a team player for him to reach his full potential. Surprisingly, Steph Curry also makes an appearance on this list. No one can deny that he's one of the greatest shooters in the history of the NBA. However, Stephen Curry can also trigger a lot of people because of his unnecessary showiness. You would think that a family man and an outspoken Christian would shy away from shimmying and doing other things to flaunt his greatness on the court, but no. That attitude is not beyond him, and it's the main reason why people are irritated with him. Plus, he plays with his expensive mouthguard all the time. Next is why people hate Chris Bosh. Well, simply, he doesn't care about flashy moves or whether or not people hate his guts. He plays his style of basketball, and sometimes it works. But people also hate Miami Heat's former third leg since he's too emotional and quick to anger. Add that to the fact that he really didn't live up to the name since he was never really on par with Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. Next up is Carmelo Anthony. Anthony comes out on the top as the most loved and most hated NBA player in his time. Well, why? He is simply known for being a superstar player that can't be really on the same team as other superstars. One example of this is his less than stellar performance with the New York Knicks when both Amari Stoudemire and Jeremy Lin were on the court with him. But when they were gone, Anthony was unstoppable. So that's why people think he's kind of a selfish player who'd rather go to battle alone if he could. Chris Paul is definitely on this list too. He is also one of the greatest players in his generation, but sadly, he is also known to be one of the league's dirtiest players. That's why even his teammates dislike him. This was confirmed by Rockets point guard Rajon Rondo himself, who said that a lot of their teammates had already spoken out against him. Chris is a great point guard, but history has already proven that dictators won't do any good in the long run. So better learn to keep your ego in check, Paul. Then, of course, there's Chris Humphries. There was a time that former Brooklyn Nets player Chris Humphries became the most hated basketball player in the NBA. Now, can you guess when this happened? If you're thinking it has something to do with a Kardashian, well, then you're right. Chris got the ire of KK fans after his failed marriage of Kim Kardashian. But at this point, he's probably enjoying a better reputation now that Kim is happily married to Kanye West. Next on the list is Jimmy Butler. People hate Jimmy Butler for being rude to his team when he was still playing for the Chicago Bulls. Let me also remind you of the time that he dissed KAT and Wiggins in the front office of the Timberwolves, alleging that they weren't being serious in their games. Overall, you could say that Butler just wants to win so badly, but with that attitude, I'm sorry to say that no one will actually want you. Up next is Dwight Howard. Yeah, Dwight Howard can be considered a legend in his early days, but he makes up for it for being a journeyman, or simply someone who could not decide where his loyalties lie. Getting traded or choosing a better team is normal, but when you've been switching teams 6 times in your entire career, people won't be happy. Others have also questioned Dwight's intentions of wanting to actually win the championships, being a good leader, or leaving a legacy. Next to that, a lot of people also hate Dwayne Wade. Well, a little disclaimer here, not just D. Wade, but the Chicago Bulls Wade. Wade made waves when he was still a part of the Miami Heat's Big Three, but people are hating on him for his decision to leave the team. Then he began to underperform, giving into bouts of anger that just makes people dislike him more. Bulls fans believe Dwayne was more of an overpaid liability with a bad attitude. And now that he's retired, he has all the time in the world to think about what he's done. Speaking of haters, LeBron James himself has received an awful lot of bashing too. Of course, Cavs fans hate LeBron for leaving Cleveland, especially after the big and showy way he did it through a TV special entitled The Decision. Then he left Miami after just 2 championship victories instead of the 4 he promised early on. Now that he's with the Lakers, We know that people will continue to hate him for all of these reasons and for his unmistakable pettiness on the court, and they will do so until hopefully the Lakers get a championship win out of him. But that's not without saying he's the GOAT since MJ. Anyway, that wraps up the video. Thanks for watching.